today, I'm just going to eat chips for 1 hour. If you're coming to the Boogie Bob show, be prepared to watch me eat chips. These ain't your daddy's chips. These are your grandma's chips. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Sun Chips, the New York Post, Coca-Cola. This is sugar-free. Plastic bags, and my new Galaxy, whatever the hell it is. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Ray-Ban, this dope-ass watch. I don't want you to watch the watch. Don't look at the watch. That's where you get caught up. You start looking at the watch and you forget all this. The moneymaker. Don't forget the moneymaker. My baby's coming to town. Better watch out. You better not cry. I forgot how the song goes. Better be good. You better not cry. Better watch out. I'm telling you why. Fine Athria is coming to town. She knows when I've been creeping. What's happening, everybody? Happy Monday to you. Today is June 12th. The year's halfway over. It just seems like last month I was sitting in a jacuzzi with 3 hot shorties from... I really started to despise the press. I mean, I'm one of the biggest news YouTubers there is. But this is just... It's a Post paper, it's owned by Rupert Murdoch and Fox News, but look at this. Trump was indicted, but what about Biden? It's called the whataboutism. Trump was indicted, but what about Hillary's emails? Even though she's not president and it happened 14 years ago, what about Charlie Manson? What about Nixon? What about that time Abraham Lincoln? But let's take it deeper. Trump was indicted, but what about the Bidens? Now, if they did something wrong, I hope their asses get indicted. But you don't get indicted till there's shit you did wrong. Joe's garage files merit the same scrutiny as Donald's. They do. They do. Here's the difference. Just in case you've been sleeping under a rock or if you're an idiot, moron, douchebag who owns the Post. Donald Trump was not indicted for taking the files home. He took them home, they sent him a letter, they said, yo, bring the files back. They don't belong to you, they belong to Boogie Bob and the rest of the American public. He ignored their subpoena. They wrote him again. He ignored. They wrote him again and said, we're going to come confiscate him. And then his lawyer said, here's some stuff. Here it is. It's everything. Got all the boxes. They said, yo, there's a lot of shit missing. They got some anonymous stuff. People working for Trump. Not all people working for Trump are loyalists. People at Mar-a-Lago said, yo, there's hella boxes in the basement, in the closet, in the bathroom, in the bathtub. So they raided his home and found at least, they found 1,000 documents, at least 100 of which were very sensitive information. They have proof on video of him and his cohorts moving the boxes. Oh shit, the FBI's coming. Move the boxes to my home, and then they'll come search, and move them back the next day. They got all that. That's how you get an indictment. It's called obstruction of justice. It's called lying, perjury, all kinds of shit. Having the boxes in your home, in your garage, is not that. Was it right? I don't think so. If Obama did it, it was wrong too. Leave the boxes. But don't hide them from the FBI. That's what you got indicted for, douchebag. This guy should be fired. Department of Justice double standard in the Hunter cover-up. Ooh, there's a Hunter laptop, and they're going to be getting to it the next 6 years. sooner or later, they're going to get the Hunter laptop. They've been talking about that for the longest. Get it already. I'm just eating chips. By the way, look where I'm at. I got my own table. There's no one near me. So, there's no one near me for miles. I might not be doing the show the next few days. I'm actually going to the hospital. I'm having a procedure done. I'm having a penis reduction. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Many of you guys out there, Joe Hernandez has no idea what I'm talking about. RJ? Rev? But my penis reduction is going to move, they're going to remove like 6 inches from the middle. I'm going to be able to go jogging again and wear shorts. They said I might be able to roller skate or ride a bicycle. It's going to be pretty cool. Pretty cool. Did I do the thumbnail? I'm leaving here, I'm going to the bank. I've never done it before, but I'm trying to get a $100,000 loan. That's going to last me 2 or 3 weeks. I need that. All right. Shall we get on with the news? We've been on for an hour and a half. We haven't done any news yet. By the way, I'm also going to get a haircut. A penis reduction is something I've wanted since I was about 10 inches. Since I was 10 inches. Boogie Bob, I like your show, but please stop talking about your penis. I told you when we revamped the show, this is Boogie Bob After Dark. The Tony Awards, last night, the Tony Awards were amazing, so I heard. I didn't watch it. But I did record it. I got it on DVR tonight. I will skim while I'm doing invoices all night. The Tony Awards, one of the biggest creeps in the whole world was William Barr. William Barr was the hand-picked Donald Trump Attorney General, the highest ranking law enforcement officer in America. Bill Barr was his, the gum under his shoe for about 3 or 4 years, and then he was fired because for the first couple years, oh, he's fantastic, everybody loves him, he's wonderful, and then the last year, I never liked him. He's fired, I never cared for him because he refused to go along with a bunch of the Trumpisms. Anyways, he is now, again, he's a very smart man, he is very versed in the law. He is now saying Donald Trump is going to prison. His own guy. Donald Trump is burnt toast. That's what they found on his laptop. And a couple dick pics. I hope they don't find my laptop. Soros succession. This is J Train. I don't like this. I don't even like saying the word, the R word. You can get demonetized. It rhymes with vape. A 20-year-old woman narrowly escaped being raped on the J train in Manhattan after an unhinged stranger, I'm glad they didn't say a strap hanger, after an unhinged strap hanger approached her with his penis exposed. That was, I'm telling you right now, that was not me. I do not take this lightly. I don't want you to think I do. We were just talking about, well, I was just talking about my penis. This creep is on the J train. I don't even think I've ever taken the J train. I don't even know where that's at. If you know where the J train is, guys, get in the comments. A 20-year-old woman was narrowly escaped being raped on the J train in Manhattan after an unhinged stranger approached her with his penis exposed, punched her, and pinned her to the ground. He should be murdered. Do we all agree on that? If you agree, get in the comments, guys. The attacker exposed himself to the victim on the southbound J train at Chambers Street near City Hall. The assailant then tried to remove the woman's clothing and attempted to force her and attempted to make her perform oral sex before punching her and pinning her to the ground. The violent pervert also stole the woman's cell phone. That's where they're going to catch him. Do we have a description? Not really. Black hoodie with a mask on. Well, we're never going to catch him. Yeah, but he took her cell phone. Hold on, let me check, find my phone. Yeah, he's on Hauser Street, 222 Hauser Street. You steal the phone, you're busted, bro. He also stole the woman's cell phone, her money, and her keys. The victim was able to run from the train to safety, and the attacker remains on the southbound subway. EMS took the victim to the hospital where she was treated for her injuries. God bless her. This will follow her the rest of her life. It's horrific and horrible, and I hope he rots in hell. I don't even know how stuff like this one makes it in the paper. West 4th Street subway robbery. That probably happened twice while I'm reading this paper. How did it make it in the paper? I was going to say, it has to be different. It has to be, for them to put it in the paper, it has to be salacious, or the guy had one arm and he was trying to stab him with a stub. There has to be something different for a robbery on a train to make it in the paper, and the first headline should have told me that. 2 women beat and robbed a man and a woman in their 60s inside the elevator at Greenwich Village subway hub. I have not talked about this before. Many of these subways, you got to go down a lot of levels, escalators and stairs. Don't take the elevator, bro. Do not take the elevator. You're trapped in a cubicle. You're trapped in a phone booth with 3 other people, 4 other people. Don't take the elevator. And I'm not victim shaming. The ugly incident unfolded on West 4th Street around 8 p.m. That's down by Union Square. The thieves approached the man, 64, in the subway, in the elevator, 67, the woman, and ferociously punched the victims. The assailant snatched the man's phone after he tried to snap a photo of them. The victims were treated at Lenox Hill Hospital, and guess what? The perpetrators got away. Ticket rate quadruples under Eric. Look at this. She getting a ticket. Who's hounded by New York City police? You're not supposed to be able to drink. I think if you have a beer in a paper bag, they let it go. But I don't know the rules and regulations. That's why I was paranoid about drinking my beer last week. I drank a beer. And you guys can watch it. I'll put a link in the description. Hide your beers when Captain Buzzkill rolls through, or risk a $25 fine. It's almost worth it to some people. That's the message from the NYPD. They issued a staggering 10,000 tickets in the past year alone. More than 4 times the amount before Mayor Adams took over. He's cracking down on the drinking. Call it ham on the lamb. Wrong place, wrong swine. That person should be fired. That doesn't even, it's not even cute. It was a wrong place, wrong swine. Oh, the editor's gonna love that. Let me run it in there. The editor should have said, Jimmy, you're fired. Call it ham on the lamb. I really hate this guy's guts. By the way, it's Catherine Dunleavy. I hate Catherine Dunleavy's guts for writing this. Call it ham on the lamb. Dozens of hogs ran loose at a Minnesota highway Friday after the semi-truck carrying them tipped over. The rig, which was hauling 50 pigs, overturned at 7:30 a.m. on Interstate 694 near Little Canada. I didn't even know we had a little Canada. Apparently in Minnesota we have a little Canada. A city roughly 10 miles north of St. Paul. According to police, it took officers nearly 4 hours to corral the livestock. The driver was not hurt. 10 pigs were killed. One guy complained because he was late for his ointment. I'm sorry, I couldn't. Oh boy. $3 million in cocaine. Found under the influencers. Now that's the title. That guy should be fired as well. It's another Catherine, but a different Catherine. Catherine Bonilio should be fired. 2 Instagram influencers were recently caught with $3 million worth of cocaine packed into a secret compartment of their SUV as they drove through Alabama. I'm telling you right now, if you're black, I don't know if they're black or not, but if you're black and you drive through Alabama with coke on you, you're insane. Them cops gonna pull you over for something. Sir, you had too much tint on your window. Sir, you didn't have enough tint on your window. Sir, I didn't see you use a blinker. Hello, sir, how are you? Smells like weed, get out of the car. Hi, sir, you swerved past that line. Hi, sir. It goes on and on. You rolled through the stop. You're going through Alabama, you're black, you're getting pulled over. That's facts. Every friend I got tells me horror stories of them driving through Alabama. If you're a rapper on a tour bus, you better go through there with a fine-tooth comb. Make sure there ain't no weed, alcohol, underage girls, knives. Raquel Marie Dolores, a singer and rapper. Oh, she black. Raquel Marie Dolores, a singer and rapper who goes by the name of Rocky, R-A-H-K-Y. I want someone to Google that for me. On Instagram, has 118,000 followers. And a fitness entrepreneur, Melissa Dufour, who peddles a clothing line called Sexy Sweats to her more than 10,000 fans, faces a minimum 10 years in prison. And $3 million in coke, I tell you what they face, what you guys might not know. Somebody is expecting that coke, and somebody paid for that coke. Now what the cops do is they'll inflate the price by saying it's a $3 million street value. It probably cost the person a couple $100,000. He cut it. Anyways, federal drug trafficking charges in their June 1st arrest. That was last week. They claim they met up in Miami and drove to Houston. That's the drug traffickers' route, bro. For a house party where they got very drunk before going to Atlanta. Think they're coke? Someone put it in their car, which also, by the way, happens. That's why they tell you at the airport, don't carry nobody else's suitcase. They were pulled over on Interstate 110 near Mobile, Alabama, for being black. Oh no, it says for traffic violations, which is code word for being black. They might not even be black. I'm just saying. Cops combed through their black Ford Expedition. Their car was black. Officer, why are you pulling me over? Ma'am, your car is black. Your car is African American, ma'am. It's a Ford Expedition. They found several hidden compartments concealing 216 pounds of coke, packed in 84 bundles. The car's floor had been lowered and welded back together to make room for the illicit substances, prosecutors claimed in the Alabama federal paper. What do I gotta do to make you love me? What do I gotta do to make you care? Something, something, lightning strikes me, and I wake up to find that you're not there. So sad, so sad. It's a sad, sad situation. Sorry seems to be the hardest word. Sorry is a very, 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 very hard word. From my 20s to my 40s, with the ladies, they probably don't let you say sorry unless you really like sorry. Sometimes it's very, very easy to end something with a sorry. Babe, I just want to say I'm sorry for yesterday. Oh, thanks, babe. Me and my ex-wife didn't really fight, but sometimes we would walk through the apartment, the studio apartment, and not say anything for about 10 days. Baby, where's the remote? You just had it. No, I didn't. You did too. I didn't have it. I'm not talking to you for 10 days. We're walking by each other. 10 days later, I might say, did you feed the cats today? And then 12 days later, you're like, oh yeah, nice weather. A month later, you're like, did you hear what Biden did? Then you're talking. Say you're sorry. Sorry seems to be the hardest word. A street preacher busted last week for shouting vital for... I don't know, I can't make this shit up. A street preacher busted last week. I hate my hair. Hate it. Sorry. Ladies, I'm sorry. By the way, this is going to be dark. The hair's going to be cut. I'm going to be fine as hell tomorrow. A street preacher busted last week for shouting Bible verses across from a pride flag raising in Pennsylvania had the disorderly conduct charges about him dropped. No shit. A lot of times they'll bust you just to get you out of that situation. Then they'll drop the charges. Video shows Damon, by the way, is this really a preacher? To go out and scream down at people just because they're gay? That's a preacher? You think Jesus would have did that? Jesus would have broke bread with them. Video shows Damon, and by the way, I think most of these people who are protesting gays suck dick. I'm telling you right now. Methinks thou protest too much. What do you care what he's doing? Because it says in Corinthians 2:27-9, he who sleepeth with man shall be put to death. It also says, by the way, that's the Old Testament, not the New Testament. By the way, it also says if you have a tattoo, you should be killed. If you wear polyester, you don't believe me, look it up. You should be killed. If you work on the Sabbath, you should be stoned to death in the street. If you covet thy neighbor's wife, which I've coveted. I covet 2 of my neighbor's wives right now. You should be killed. They don't tell you that. It'd be a guy in a polyester suit with tattoos telling you how homosexuals will rot in hell. You're going to be right next to him, Playboy. He's got a polyester suit, tattoos, earrings, and he's working on the Sabbath, condemning you. But I say, what's the one where the guy has a plank in his eye? Don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. And don't pluck out the toothpick out of your eye when you got a plank. Penny, this is the Marine who killed the young. Did anybody see that shit fall out of my mouth? This is a young Marine who killed the Michael Jackson homeless guy. Says, I wasn't trying to kill him. I don't think he was trying to. Does anybody think he was actually trying to kill him? I don't think that's what the charges were. Well, maybe attempted murder, but I have never once said that I think he was trying to purposely kill him. I think he was choking a man for 15 minutes, and I think common sense, especially after seeing the George Floyd stuff, would tell you that you can't do that. I hope he goes to prison for 50 years, and I'm not kidding. He killed a man with his bare hands. A man because the man was yelling at people on the subway train. There's not one person from that day that said he touched anyone or hurt anyone. I saw 14 people yelling at people on the way over here. Boy dies on flight to New York. 11-year-old boy on board a flight to New York died after his plane made an emergency landing in Budapest. Flight TKO, I don't like the name of that. Flight TKO 3 to JFK Airport took off from Istanbul, my old turf, before quickly diverting to Hungary. After a boy lost consciousness, Budapest International Airport, they continued to resuscitate the child as he was rushed to the hospital. I don't know that had anything to do with the plane. People die every day. People could be at the next table dying. I've had two people die on my live feeds since I've been doing YouTube. People die, and hundreds of thousands, millions of people fly every day. And the chances of someone dying on an airplane is probably pretty good at those kind of odds. God bless that little angel. Very sorry to hear that. So sad, so sad. The reason I'm singing that is there's a girl on American Idol the other night. On America's Got Talent. If you haven't seen it, just type in AGT. It will come up. It's one of the most viral videos of all time. She's blind. I think she might be of Indian descent. I could be wrong. First time to America, she came out and she sang a song that was absolutely beautiful, but no one knew it. I didn't know it. And Simon, who's a brilliant genius. Simon's a guy who found One Direction and his help. Simon's a huge music mogul, if you don't know. Simon is not just a mean judge. Simon knows the business insane. So he ran up on stage and told the girl, hey, it's Simon, because she's playing a piano too beautifully. She can't see. He goes up to her. He's never done this before. He's many times stopped people in the middle of their performance. Stop, because you have to have two songs. Simon doesn't like your song. He's going to stop you and say, could you sing the other one? He said to her very nicely, could you sing something else? He didn't know that the first song, which was brilliant, was an original song by her. She sang the second song. It was Elton John, the So Sad joint. And oh my God, it wasn't a dry eye in the house. If you get a chance, if you want to see something absolutely beautiful, please make sure you check out AGT. It'll come right up. I don't know her name. Fantastic. Precocious. Somebody look that up. I don't know. I think it's a fake word. 14-year-old boy will be the youngest ever graduate from the Santa Clara University next week before starting his new job at SpaceX. SpaceX, 14-year-old boy. He must be very, very intelligent. Says the first thing that the young boy did when he got to SpaceX is he went into the bathroom with the Playboy magazine and came out an hour later. So, he's a 14-year-old boy. Yes? Bobby, it's Mom. You've been in there a long time. What are you doing? I'm taking a bath, Mom. For 3 hours? Yes. I'm very dirty, Mom. I just want to make sure you're okay. I'm fine, Mom. What's all that splashing going around? Well, I was, Oh my goodness. I love these stories and hate these stories because there's no story greater than the story of a hero. Someone who would trade his life for someone else, his or her life for someone else. The greatest thing you can do in the world is give your life for the life of someone else. New fire department, New Yorker dies a hero. Desperate fight to pull daughter from Jersey surf. Guys, you go out there and you're walking around in water that's only up to here. And sometimes that undertow starts dragging you out. You cannot fight it. You can't fight it. I want you to walk sideways. Don't try to go towards the beach. And don't go out, because it's trying to take you out. Walk sideways. The undertow will stop. 10 or 15 feet now. Don't walk towards the beach. Turn sideways and walk that way. It's the only way to fight an undertow. A veteran FDNY firefighter drowned while trying to save his daughter from treacherous waters. I don't like the word trying to save. Mark Barista, a Teaneck resident and Brooklyn Engine Company 226 member, died during a family trip near Sylvania Avenue Beach in Avon by the Sea on Friday. We are heartbroken to learn about the death of a firefighter, Mark Batista, I apologize, who died Friday while swimming at the Jersey shore. He was a dedicated public servant who spent 15 years serving the FDNY as well as an EMT and a firefighter. He jumped into the rough surf at 8:30 a.m. after noticing his teenage daughter was caught at a rip current near a jetty. The hero dad was swept under the water and rescue teams searched for about 10 minutes before finding the teenager and rushing her to the hospital where she is expected to recover. Traded his life for hers. Now, he didn't save her, but he sure tried. God had one. God took one and saved one. And this poor little angel right here is going to grow up her whole life knowing how much her father loved her. I had about 15 people hit me up on Instagram yesterday about my Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That story has resonated with me all my life because I believe doing the right thing and the good thing. And you couldn't have written a script any better to have a young man who has absolutely nothing retain his morals when most people, unfortunately, would have betrayed Willy Wonka. Charlie stood fast and strong, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I thought of it all night last night. Thank you for everybody who got in the comments and said it was a very moving thing. Charlie had nothing to do with me. Charlie. Oh boy. I don't like it. Teen bust in sleigh of Florida granny. 15-year-old boy was charged in the murder. Okay. He didn't kill his own grandma. Still horrible. 15-year-old boy was charged with murder in the stray bullet killing of a Florida grandmother who served in Operation Desert Storm. This woman served in Desert Storm, and she's a grandma. The teen, whose name was not released because of his age, was arrested Friday, 4 months after the tragic death of former Army Sergeant Angela Sutton. The veteran, 61 years old, was hit by a stray bullet on February 7th while shopping in North Wayne Plaza Strip. Go out to shop and you come home from Desert Storm and you get murdered. I'm not doing it. Oh boy. You like the ice cream dots? You heard of the ice cream dots? D-O-T-S? By the way, I'm keeping an eye out for my shorty, Elvira. Every time I walk by now, she lights up like a Christmas tree. Once the Boogie Bob got you here, it's over, baby. You can't fight it. I'm a riptide. You gotta walk sideways and keep it moving, otherwise I got your ass. I'm looking for her. I have found your book. Excuse me? I find your book. You come to my house, pick up. Oh boy. We just took a turn. This is the mother of the kids in the jungle. A mother will do anything, should do anything to save the lives of her children. The plane crashed, the mother was still alive, long enough to tell the kids, hey girl. She told the kids, hey girl. The kids were like, what does that mean, Mom? The mother of 4 young kids who navigated the Amazon jungle for weeks, 40 days. After a plane crash, survived the air accident too, but she was very badly wounded and selflessly urged the kids to leave her and save themselves. The oldest refused. My daughter has told me that their mother was alive for 4 days. 4 days. The mother survived for 4 days. But the mom, Magdalena McCutty, knew her days were numbered and knew she was going to die from the crash, and that the kids' chances of survival were better if they left the wreckage to look for food and water and shelter. Before she died, she said to them, maybe you should go. You guys are going to see the kind of man your dad really is. He's going to show you the same kind of great love that I have shown you all of your lives. The youngsters ages 13, 9, and 4, and 11 months, not even a year old. Who's carrying that baby? I would say the 13-year-old. Eventually left, sparking what ended up being a 40-day miraculous journey of survival that included them living off a bag of cassava flour from the wreckage and seeds and fruits they found in the area after the crash that killed their mother and 2 other adults, including the pilot. The children were found Friday by a military rescue dog and the members of the military and local indigenous groups. News about their mom's heartbreaking plea deal surfaced along with other stunning details. Choppers, that's a helicopter. Get to the chopper! That's a helicopter. By the way, there is a new show on Arnold Schwarzenegger on Netflix. It's a 3-part. Very good. Get to the chopper! The mom yelled to them, get to the chopper! Choppers dropped boxes of food as they scoured the region by air and rescue with dogs searching for the children, which authorities said actually frightened the young survivors, and the kids hid. They're young kids. You're dropping boxes on them, they're going to hide. They were afraid out there with the dogs barking. They hid from the dogs as well. They hid amongst the trees and they ran. Rescue crews also blared recordings through loudspeakers of the children's grandmother, urging them to stay in one place so people could find them. But the kids were too scared when they heard the noise. They heard the message and they were afraid. They hid in the bushes so they wouldn't be found. They hid in the bushes so they wouldn't be found by the rescue. Horrible. I see you looking at me, girl. Got a bad shorty right here staring at old Boogie Bob. Will she join me? Is that a yes or a no? Will she join me for the podcast? Is that a yes or a no? I think it's a very strong possibility. Do you like dots? A former ice cream man, the Dots executive, is in a naked rampage. Can't get enough of it. It's my cuteness. My cuteness is overwhelming. The ex-CEO, he's the ex of Dipping Dots, was reportedly arrested for allegedly attacking his girlfriend and storming out of their Oklahoma home completely naked in a drunken, fueled rage. That's why I don't drink. Scott Fisher, who has a history of abuse. He's a douchebag. I hope he goes to prison. Was booked Tuesday on complaints of public intoxication, domestic violence by strangulation. This is a new O.J. Simpson right here. Interfering with the emergency call, which means she called 911 and he grabbed the phone and yanked it out of her hand. Indecent exposure, which means he was running around naked. Fisher allegedly attacked the woman hours after she confronted him about his alcohol abuse. The girlfriend, whose identity was not released, has reportedly returned home from work at their Oklahoma City home and found the former ice cream man intoxicated. She needs to run the hell out of that relationship. Queen's Deli duo. A Queen's Deli duo. They choke a drunk menace. Please don't choke him to death. 2 workers at a Queen's Deli were arrested for allegedly attacking and choking a drunk man who barged into the store early Sunday and began cursing. You gotta call the cops. You can't just choke someone. I know you want to. There's about 4 people sitting by me I want to choke right now. Cops got a call from an assault in progress at Pickles and Pies Food. What a name. Pickles and Pies Food Market in Rockaway Park about 5:10 a.m. Oh, it's early. I'm not even saying the guy was right. The guy was probably wrong. You can't be kicking in their door and screaming. When they arrived, cops found the injured 31-year-old man who had been accosted by the 2 employees after an argument. The victim was taken to St. John's Episcopal Hospital, where he was listed in stable condition until he suffered some sort of medical stroke. Oh boy. They get you for the after effects, bro. You beat up a guy and then he goes to the hospital and then has a stroke or dies, it's murder. Murder, she wrote. Afterwards, he was listed in critical but stable condition. Police arrested the 2 unidentified employees, ages 24 and 23. They charged one with strangulation, assault, and harassment, while the other was charged with assault and harassment. Can't do it. You like Diana Ross? There's her daughter. Dressed like a damn ladybug. You could either think she's a ladybug or you could take her dress off and play Twister. Left leg on blue. Bill Murray. Gotta show you this. I gotta show you this only because I bring it up all the time. Might be this one. I've told the story about Bill Murray. I always have receipts. I don't say shit if I can't back it up. Bill Murray in my building. I wrote this in 2018, or at least I posted this in 2018. Sometimes when it comes down my timeline, I'll repost, so this might have been before then. Oh my God, I was just being kind, helping a man get into my building with a suitcase. He was very thankful, asking me about my Tupac shirt and talking about Tupac. After 5 minutes, I said, "You look like Bill Murray." My heart stopped when he said, "I am Bill Murray." I was in shock. Oh my God, I love him so much. All I could do was say, "Get the fuck out of here," which is exactly what I said to him. Bill Murray. That's called a receipt, my friends. Unless 12 years ago I said, you know what, I'm going to come up with a Bill Murray story. And one day on my YouTube I'll bring it up and then I'll pull up the receipts for the... Anyways, Bill Murray is now dating 43 years. He's 72. He's dating 43. So let's see. I'm 60. In 12 years, I'll be 72. And in 12 years, Bria will be... She'll only be like 38. So Khalees is 43. I don't know. Hi there. Another lady checking out on the Boogie Bob. Got an older lady on the hook this time. I'm like a bait. You throw the bait out in the water and sooner or later, I should leave the hats at home and just go with the... I'm 60. Look at that hair, brother. Come on, bro. Are you crazy? Khalees, 43. She has a song, My Milkshake Drinks All the Boys to the Yard. They're like, it's better than yours. And right, it's better than yours. Into something, but I have to charge. My Milkshake, she was also married to Nas for like 10 years, and I think she has 2 kids with Nas. Khalees, 43, seems to be the only person who isn't interested in the reports that she's dating Bill Murray. The Milkshake singer responded to an Instagram follower who asked her about the rumor with the Saturday Night Live movie star. Ma'am, would you care to address those Bill Murray allegations? Said an Instagram poster. Because damn, what he doing with all that? She said, no babe, I wouldn't bother at all. Not much of a story. First of all, I like Bill Murray. I have 2 or 3 Bill Murray stories up my sleeve. Drug enthusiast Lil Wayne. Yabbity yabbity yabba yabbity wabba. Lil Wayne is forgetful with all the drugs he's done. The New Orleans-born rapper revealed in a new interview with Rolling Stone that he doesn't recall which of his own songs were part of which of his famous albums. That's not unusual. The guy has over 1,000 songs, easily. You count mixtapes, features, and all his albums, he has over 1,000 songs. It's very easy to forget which song is on which album. That's not a story at all. Oh boy. The deadliest park in America is what? Get in the comments, guys, while I eat potato chips. I'm going to ask again. I expect you all to answer. What is the deadliest park in America? Washington Square Park? Hell's Kitchen Park? Uh-oh, she's leaving. Let's see if she looks. Is she going to look at Bob? Is she going to look over her shoulder? Yep, there's the glance. Well, away. She's not gone yet, but she's out of my life. She's out of my life. Damned indiscretion. Cursed pride. Deep down inside. Several good guesses. Jurassic Park is very good. Central Park. No. The Grand Canyon. Is that a park? Yeah, it's a national park. Don't play around in the Grand Canyon. Iconic site is the deadliest of all national parks. Look at this guy. He drove off this damn cliff. I'm about to be the last man standing. I throw a show so off the Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon National Park is the deadliest in the country with the highest number of missing persons reported than the deaths. It's a huge park. I've flown over it several times. Never actually, I don't think, went to it. Kelly Clarkson. She was the very first winner of American Idol. You didn't know that. You didn't know that. Kelly Clarkson surprised several LA residents at the Platform Shopping Center Thursday with an impromptu concert. It only makes me stronger. I think that's her. I'm not sure. Unabomber dies. Undies bomber. Sorry, different guy. Remember the douchebag who had bomb in his underwear? Unabomber. Ted Kaczynski previously tried to kill himself in jail by hanging himself with his own underwear. So it's not the underwear bomber, the guy from the airplane. It's a different guy. So Unabomber tried to hang himself with his undies. The infamous convict who killed himself at the federal medical Damn, it's a Boogie Bob exclusive. Did you guys know he killed himself? Ambrose knows. You can't get nothing past Ambrose. I did not know. He had been sick, he had cancer. I thought he probably died of natural causes, or he was killed because they wanted to get Donald Trump's name off the front page. Unabomber. Ted Kaczynski previously tried to kill himself in jail by hanging himself with his own underwear. The infamous convict who killed himself at the federal medical prison in Burnett in Butner, North Carolina, Saturday, carried out a 17-year bombing spree that killed 3 people, injured 23. He had a 17-year bombing spree with over 60 bombs and killed 3 people. He wasn't really good at it. I'm glad he wasn't good at it, but he only killed 3 people. I don't mean only lightly, I'm just saying. Months before, he even went to trial. He tried to commit suicide after a failed bid to fire his lawyers. He agreed to Howard after the red marks on his neck. Sacramento County, blah, blah, blah. The suicide attempt was confirmed by family lawyer. Okay, so are we saying that this guy killed himself? Because they don't really talk about it on here. They just say he did it. They don't tell us details. So, the year was 1981. Jail. Went to jail. I was into a lot of really bad stuff. My first day in jail. There was a long hallway. We're all in the rec room, sitting on metal benches, looking at one TV. 40 of us sitting in a damn day room. There's a hallway that goes all the way down to our cells. 6 cells, 4 to each cell. And I'm talking small ass cells, like in a damn phone booth. Enough room to go in, take a poop. I think I was in jail for that time, like 4 months. I didn't take a poop once. 4 months I never took a poop. This big black guy who tried to kill me later on that week about something else because I got a big mouth. I thought because I was a tough guy in my town that I could be a tough guy in jail. It doesn't work that way. I was a little bitch in jail, but I didn't know the rules. I didn't know you can't get smart with people. Say, shut up, bitch. Huge black guy named Tiny comes screaming down the hall, oh my God, oh my God. I had just seen the cops, the sheriffs brought this guy in. I'll never forget because he was short, small, had really scraggly hair, and his teeth were, 2 front teeth were like knocked out. I was like, look at this drug addict-y looking guy. What's he in there for? He got arrested for fishing without a license. It's the jail, yes, David. It's the jail right by Armios. I don't think it's there anymore, but it's right on North Texas or West Texas. Anyway, so my first day, saw the guy come in, and he just looks really pathetic and horrible. It's just a dirty, homeless kind of looking white guy, straggly hair, short, teeth missing. And I was like, ah, poor bastard. I feel better about my case. He's arrested for fishing without a license. About 10 minutes later, Tiny comes running down the hall. Oh my God, he's killing himself. A moron. I don't know the rules. I should have stayed in my damn seat. I'm the first one to run down that hallway, see if I can't help it. I get there and the guy hung himself from his sheets. And his feet are off the ground and he's completely purple. When I say purple, he's purple. Picture a grape. He's like a grape soda. He's completely purple. And he's hanging there and his feet are off the ground. And before I could even do anything, I don't know what I would have did. He lost consciousness and he slipped out of the noose, and he hit. I'll never forget it. This is 40 years ago. He hit his face onto the concrete. His limp body, like a wet rag, hit the concrete. I want you to picture a completely wet towel that you throw on the concrete. You hear that slapping, squashing noise? That was his face hitting the concrete. It was horrible. And of course, he knocked out the rest of his teeth. First day in jail. So people do hang themselves. I saw a man with my own eyes hanging himself. He was in there for fishing without a license. Let that man fish. He's homeless. Teach a man to fish. He eats for a day. I apologize for the long-winded story. I was almost murdered in jail and in prison about 9 times. I'm not kidding. You gotta watch your mouth in jail. Tiny almost killed me like a week later because my friend Biker Bob, no relation to me, Biker Bob, he's one of the big-ass, sloppy-looking bikers, but he had no bike. Biker Bob. Biker Bob, who was a friend of mine, thank God. He looked huge and intimidating. He was a pussy. He was my boy for 15 years on the streets. Biker Bob came there like, oh my God, I got a friend. I was glued to his hip. They all thought he was some big-ass biker. They respected him. And I'll never forget, Soul Train was on. And we were watching Soul Train, and the Gap Band was on. You dropped the bomb on me, baby. You dropped a bomb on me. And they were the Wilson brothers, if I remember correctly. There's 3 of them. And they put their names up there. There's a bass player, Jimmy Wilson. And there's a drummer, Steve Wilson. And there's a singer, you dropped a bomb on me. And it said Frank Wilson, whatever. I don't know that. And my friend Bob turns to Tiny. And he says, oh, are they brothers? And before Tiny can answer, I go, no, it's a coincidence. It's a coincidence that are all 3 named Wilson. Tiny did not like that. You shut your bitch ass mouth. Every time someone says something, you gotta say something with a big ass joke. What you're supposed to do is shut your bitch ass mouth. What a new fish on the block don't do is shut his mouth. I made the mistake of thinking that if he was scared of getting more time, he'd leave me alone. Not no snitching shit. So look, Playboy, you don't want it with me. I'll fuck you up right now. But I don't want more time. You don't want more time. He's the second one that did this with me. So I'm in for murder. What time I gonna get? I went, shit, I gotta learn the rules of jail. You little bitch-ass white boy. I was going, don't call him the N-word. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. In the streets, it's a whole separate thing of rules, bro. In the streets, you can get in your car, you can get your gun, you can run, you can do whatever. In jail, you ain't doing shit. You think guards are gonna come in and break shit up? Tiny was huge. Big-ass brother named Tiny. About 4 days later, I had a guy pull a shank on me this long because of my mouth. Every time I went to jail, I thought if I was quiet, I would look weak and stupid. I got fist fights in jail. One time I got slammed against a bunk bed, and right on the edge of my eye here was like Bugs Bunny. It went bloop. I'm not even kidding. It looked like this. This is big ass bloop. I walk around like a damn unicorn. If you go to jail, don't talk to people. Oh, we got buffering. We got buffering. I didn't even do nothing. And our time's up. I got to get on with the show. Sugar Bay, am I still buffering? You dropped the bomb on me. Whip it, baby. Nope, we good. I'm gonna eat chips. I'm eating chips. Can't do this over there because the pigeons will get you. I wonder what happened to Tiny. Big ass Tiny. I'm glad I didn't say, you better shut your bitch ass up. I'm with Biker Bob. Biker Bob was like, Biker Bob came in my cell that night and said, Bob, I know who you are. I know what you do. Don't do shit. Don't say shit. You won't get hurt up in here. I had an ego. I was a street kid. I'd fight anybody. Rob anybody. I am not the same Boogie Bob back then. I was dead man walking up in that bitch. It was just a matter of the very last day I got out, I had a fork. A plastic fork. It's like a spoon and a fork. It's called a spork. In my front pocket up on my yellow orange jumpsuit. Sitting there against the wall like this. For 11 hours. I didn't move because my boy came up to me. They gonna get you, bro. They gonna get you. And he was like a little tiny guy, so I know he didn't have my back. Horrible. Jail's horrible. Don't get in a beef in jail. Ain't nowhere to run. Can't go to the guards. You're a snitch. Ghouls rob a drowned man. A newlywed. Carrie, are you listening to this? Ghouls rob a drowned man. A newlywed. First of all, it's horrible that a newlywed drowned. Where was the wife? I want to know where the wife was. A newlywed California man drowned while on his honeymoon with his wife in Hawaii. And thieves stole the couple's belongings on the beach and then stole their rental car. Oh, that's some shady shit right there. The man drowned on his honeymoon. And these guys was like, yo, that guy drowned. I know what we need to do. You think help him? No, we need to take his shit on the beach and then go get his car. And they probably got a hotel car keyed in there, a hotel key. We'll go to the hotel. Stephen Fan and his wife Brittany were celebrating their brand new life together in Honolulu on their honeymoon on June 1st when Fan vanished beneath the surf. First thing, if I'm a cop, I'm checking his life insurance policy. Pretty suspicious that he drowned on his honeymoon with his wife there like, I don't know nothing. I want a lawyer. A spear fisherman pulled him to shore and bystanders began CPR. The couple had been married just for 3 months, according to their GoFundMe page. Always with a damn GoFundMe page. God bless him. I'm not belittling his death. I'm sorry. As if this could not be worse, all of Brittany and Stephen's belongings were stolen and thieves took their cell phones, wallets, money, clothing. They even stole their rental car. You're a piece of shit, bro. Russia. Oh, Vladimir Putin. They blew up the damn dam. They blew up the damn dam. And water rushed in, and people that were fleeing from the floods were murdered by the Australian wedding crash kills 10. That's why I say don't get married. Don't ever get married. Everything I read is about a guy getting killed in it. An Australian wedding ended in tragedy Monday night when a chartered bus carrying guests overturned, killing 10 people and injuring 25 more. You know you're on a bus, all your homies, it's a wedding, ain't nobody wearing no seatbelt. Ain't nobody got time for that. That bus flips over, you bouncing around in that bus. It's horrible. The bus was taking the 53 wedding guests to their hotels after the reception when it crashed at a roundabout on Wine Country Drive. The male driver, 58, was arrested at the scene and charged. He's drunk? I don't know what he was. Today I'm not in a rush, I'm just chilling. I'm gonna leave here and go to the bank and ask them for 100 racks. They're gonna say, get the fuck out of here. I've already practiced it in my head over. Hi, I've had an account with you now for 20 years. I've read about $11 million through your account. I've never asked you for anything. I've never bounced a check. My employees love me, and my payroll was $40,000 a month. In the winter, my payroll was $80,000 a month. I just want a small cushion in case I decide to go to Atlantic City and get some blowjobs. Now, are you going to help me or not? Now, I got to see what she's going to say. I don't think she's going to say it. I don't think, I got to rethink my thing. I don't think that's the blowjobs in Atlantic City, leave that out. Leave that out. The rest, by the way, it's the same lady who, when I went to the bank and lost $6,000 in her ATM machine, it's the same lady. And I got $2,000 on me now. I'm going to give it to her and say, could you deposit this for me, huh? I have to talk about a Butler or a Ferrari. I got to act bigger than I am. You need money to get money, girl. How you do it? Racist charge at SUNY. SUNY is some kind of college out here. I don't know what the hell it is. A self-described anti-racism group has filed a federal lawsuit complaint against SUNY. Library internship, which is available. I don't know. You guys see this thing in Atlanta, in Vegas? The $2.2 billion sphere is out of to revolutionize concert experience. Mr. Bowen, you have great credit with us, and I see that your businesses are flourishing. Well, it's been hard during the pandemic, but we are doing well. We're rebuilding, restructuring, and I could just use a little bit of money as a cushion. Well, sir, I'm a little concerned because you say you want $100,000 for blowjobs in Atlantic City. I don't think that's a viable reason to give you this money, sir. Okay, if I changed it to blowjobs in Albuquerque, could you possibly see your way into that? Because blowjobs is on the table. It's not leaving the table, ma'am. All right. I gotta rethink my strategy. I think I got one. I've never asked for a loan, ever. I don't know how to do it. I think I got one loan like 20 years ago to buy my friend a Cadillac. And I paid him back on time. If you want to pay people back on time, you're good to go. Tourist lost in a boat fire. It better not say he was just married. It better not say that, because I'm not buying this whole marriage scam thing. 3 British tourists were missing and 12 others had been rescued after a motorboat caught on fire in the Egyptian Red Sea. Horrible. Did you see what happened in Philly? On the highway to hell. It's a Philly highway to hell story. This bridge here is going to take at least 4 to 6 months to fix. The bridge, a truck actually caught on fire underneath it, and they couldn't put it out, and then the whole ship collapsed. I told you the Post was going to milk this story. Look at this. Here's a guy, big ass brother right here, fighting the little dude. My money's on the little dude. He's too wiry. His brother ain't got no knees. He can't fight. But if he catches you, it's on. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. But look at Grandma. Grandma's like, well, I gotta get to work. I gotta get to Walmart, and these guys are swinging, so I'm just gonna walk right between the two of them. She's like, I ain't stopping. It's New York. Look, I look like saying good morning. Shout out to Scarlett, the hottest rapper in New York. Scarlett is a huge story. If you guys don't know who Scarlett is from the BX Stand Up Bronx. Scarlett had a very, very, very rough life. Her brother cracked her face open when she was like 12, left her in the street gushing, destroyed her whole lip, split her lip. Beautiful girl, by the way. But Scarlett, she's hardcore. She's the hardest rapper in New York right now. They split her lip open, and all her life, since she was like 12 years old, all the kids at school said that she got herpes because she got a big her lip. But she's a beautiful girl. Anyways, she came up with that single. The single's hot. All of a sudden, everybody wants to get down with her. She had a video on Instagram where she's crying hysterically. She said, oh my God, Cardi B just posted my story. She's crying hysterically on her porch to her homies. Cardi B posted my story. Cardi B. She's from the Bronx and I'm from the Bronx, and she proved that little girls from the Bronx could make it if we put our heart into it. And as Cardi B saw the video, Cardi B is recording with her. Fat Joe is recording with her. Jada Kiss let her open for him at Summer Jam. Rakim has reached out to her. KRS-One, P. Diddy. Stay away from P. Diddy, girl. That's not on nothing good. Don't you do it. There's no Booger Monday. By the way, ladies, tomorrow, no hat. I'm going with the hair. It's gonna look good though. And I'm gonna color the beard in. Just for men. Shh. Nobody's gonna know. Scarlett is not for the faint of heart. Scarlett is a gangster. And very, very, very good rapper. Busta Rhymes put her on the... Snoop Dogg reached out to her. She actually reached out to him. Got in his DM. Said, my name is Scarlett. I have a song that's really hot in New York. It's called This Is New York. I would love for you to be on the remix. Snoop Dogg is on the remix called This Is LA. And it's insane. It's so good. So good. Fuck, I look like saying good morning. I'm from New York. They're like, good morning. I'm from New York. I look like saying good morning. I can't say the words to the thing because it's very, 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 there's no, I don't think there's any adjectives or nouns or pronouns. It's just curse words. Shall we? Shall we proceed? Yes, indeed. Boom. Leo. Libra. Aquarius. Leo, Libra, Aquarius. I gotta write it down because I'm gonna forget. By the way, I'm really proud of myself. My bathroom, my refrigerator light bulb went out. It went out. I got a new one. I'm gonna go fix that shit myself. The old Bob, the rich Bob, he would just call someone and say, hey, bruh, can you change the light in my refrigerator? Mr. Bob, this will cost you $45. Do it yourself. No, I'll give you the $45. Boogie Bob doing that shit himself. Leo, Libra, Aquarius. We're in the dawning of the age of Aquarius. I'm doing it quick. I gotta go ask for 100 racks. Leo, what do you need the money for, sir? I need the money to help people. No, sir. We're a bank. We don't help people. Okay. It's like Groundhog Day. I gotta go on the next day. What do you need the money for, sir? I'm starting a business where I take money from people. No, we don't want any competition, sir. Sir, I think you've been lying to me this whole time. I think you want the money for blowjobs in Vegas. Do not ever tell the bank teller you need a loan for blowjobs. She's not going to go for it. Got to come up with a whole new strategy. I don't know what I was thinking. Leo. Not even, I just need a cushion. I just need a cushion. Okay? I got 40 grand in there now, and payroll's only going to be, let's say, 20 this Thursday. That means, in my mind, I got payroll for 2 weeks from now. Great. And then checks will be coming in from there. But I don't want to have that. I need a big-ass cushion. I got to have a 100 rack cushion so I can just sleep, and if I want to buy a bicycle, I buy a bicycle. To go with my other 9 bicycles. Sir, what would you like the loan for? I'd like a 9th bicycle, ma'am. You care what I want it for. I'm going to pay you back with interest. I ain't never bounced a check. Look at me. Look at this face. Ma'am, I'm going to have brown beard tomorrow. Would that change your mind if I came back tomorrow with a brown beard? I even took a shower for this lady. I got to leave here in 10 minutes. I even took a shower for this lady. I'm going to sit next to her and lean in. Hey, girl. Not even Leo can be the best at everything. So don't set targets that are so ridiculously high as they may well be out of this world. Focus on one objective at a time, and aim to be the best at that before moving on to the next thing. Libra, the planets warn that you have been too free and easy with your spending as of late. You need to be considerably less generous. What kind of shit is that? Don't be less generous. Be generous with your own cash. It's true, you like to entertain, but no one expects you to pay for everything, so split the check occasionally. I have never split a check. I don't know what that means. You're gonna go on a date and say, oh, it's $62. You owe me $31? They say there's no free lunch. There's a free lunch. You go with me, it's a free lunch. I cannot have any of my homies or ladies coming out their pocket. Aquarius, don't waste time trying to impress friends and loved ones today because they have a lot on their minds and are unlikely even to notice your efforts. As they are so preoccupied, why not have the sort of fun that they might be having? I don't care. Shall we see what's on the old birthdays? There's one of Boogie Bob's watches. Oh. Bria's coming to see me in a few minutes. I gotta get my shit together. Birthdays. This is June 12th. Anybody born on June 12th? Most everybody born on June 12th, I wish you a happy birthday. Some I do not. Hitler was born on 4/20, April 20th. I never wish him a happy birthday. He ain't getting one ever. Anne Frank. Anne Frank was a young teenager who, during World War II, her and her Jewish family lived in the walls of a printing shop for about 2 years, almost to the end of the war, before they were discovered. Someone snitched. I think they just did a documentary and proved the person who snitched, may you rot in hell. The Nazi SS came in, got them, took them to Auschwitz, one of the concentration camps where they were killed. The thing why her story, she was murdered in 1945. The thing that made this story available to the world is that they found her diary, the diary of Anne Frank. If you have not read it, I would say you should. Justin Bieber, who I like very much, but he went to the Anne Frank Museum, and he said if she would have survived, she'd be a believer. Shut up, Dick. That's what I say to that. Dave Franco. Dave Franco is the younger brother of the other Franco dude who's been blackballed for rape. Franco. What's Franco's first name? I liked Franco. He was great. He's a great actor. Wonderful director, producer. Franco, help me out here. What's his brother's name? Franco. Come on, Franco. What's his brother's name? James Franco. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Ambrose is wrong. Ambrose said John. Anyways, Dave Franco's the little brother. He is phenomenal. Very, very good actor. I'm just going through the dial here. I might not have a George H.W. Bush. Now, George H.W. Herbert Walker Bush was George Sr. He died in 2018. His birthday's today in 1924. He was a very, very, very wealthy man. He was also a World War II fighter pilot. And then he had a son. And his son was George Walker Bush. George W. Bush. W, they called him W. But he didn't get to Herbert. So he really wasn't a junior. George W. wasn't a junior. He was just a dub. Mark Henry, at one time the world's strongest man, Olympic weightlifter, went on to have a huge career in the WWE as a wrestler. 360 Jeezy. Never heard of it. Never heard. Chris Young. I'm being Joe now. Lil Duval. Lil Duval's a little comic guy. He's very funny. I don't know shit about him. This is what Joe does. He just grabs random ass people off of here. I'm not doing it. If I don't recognize their face, I'm just scrolling. As soon as I see their face, Jim Neighbors. Golly! Gomer Pyle. I was called Gomer Pyle by people my whole life. Gomer Pyle. Jim Neighbors was a brilliant actor, comedic actor, but he was also a very, very talented singer. Oh, my papa, they say you... He would sing and he would have you crying. Oh, my papa. You could look that one up. That was his signature song. Oh, my bounty killer. Rastaman, I think. Finesse Mitchell. I'm just going around the dial. We've got a very special dedication coming up in the death segment after this. David Rockefeller. David Rockefeller was part of the Rockefeller family. Oh boy. Lived to be 102 years old. Entrepreneur. Very, very, very wealthy. Rick Huffman, I don't care. By the way, I'll say out the names, and if I don't know nothing about them, make sure you watch for Ambrose, because Ambrose will be putting stuff up there as he always does. Chick Corea. Chick Corea was a pianist, a great Timothy Busfield, a wonderful actor. Again, if I'm not giving you enough info, Ambrose got my back. I'm just going through this list. There's hundreds of people born every day, thousands, but I just have to go. They don't put them in importance. So you could have George Bush at the top, and then some scrub in the middle, and then someone famous on the bottom. I don't know any of these people. Scott Thompson, he was one of the guys from The Kids in the Hall. Very funny. Yeah, this has really slowed down the process. I don't know. Deaths. We do not celebrate anyone's death except Hitler. A couple of them. This was a horrific, horrible thing. Changed my life and the way I think about things. Growing up in my life, I was very poor. Coming from Turkey and then over to the Bay Area, I didn't have much. I didn't have anything that my friends had. And, you know, I go over to my friend's house. He's playing around. He's got a quarter laying on his bedroom floor. I'm like, what is this guy, rich? Quarter laying there. He goes, it's just change. I have it. I have no quarter. There wasn't no quarters laying around in my bedroom floor. Anyways, one of my heroes in life, a Bay Area boy, O.J. Simpson. I love me some O.J. Simpson. I remember in high school, my mom bought me a really cheap pair of cleats. They were black with orange soles. I'm actually in O.J. Simpson's book, Letter to O.J. I wrote a letter to O.J. I made it in the Letter to O.J. book. O.J. was my hero. And I was so blinded by my love of O.J. that I wasn't thinking about Ron and Nicole and Ron's family and Nicole's family and the overwhelming pile of evidence. I was on my knees with a Bible in my hand praying to the Lord, please let him be acquitted. I didn't have a good relationship with cops. Cops have done some really horrible things to me in my days of crime. Told me lies. I was abused by cops. Treated horribly by some cops. So I don't want to say I hate cops. There's a couple cops I hated. The cop who pulled me over for drunk driving when I wasn't drunk was actually shot and killed not too long after. But I felt that the cops were framing O.J. Looking back in hindsight, I can't imagine anyone who would think he's innocent, even O.J.'s mama. But Nicole Brown Simpson was murdered on this day in 1994. He was an abuser, extremely jealous man. I would not be surprised if he doesn't do it again to someone else. shout out to Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, who I don't think gets enough respect. He actually died taking her glasses, her mother's glasses, over there. Gregory Peck. Gregory Peck was a great actor. I don't know nothing about him. He died in 2003. Peter Maivia. Of all the Samoans, it doesn't matter who it is, if it's Rock from Hawaii or if it's the Tonga kid from Fiji, all the Samoans, he was the patriarch. He was the father of everyone. Sika and Alpha, all the Samoan, any Samoan wrestler went through Peter Maivia, the Hype King. The Hype King. Ruby Dee. Ruby Dee was a phenomenal actress. I think she was married to Ozzie Davis for all of her life. She was in Raisin in the Sun. I think she was nominated for Academy Award for her work in American Gangster. She played Denzel's mother. Phil Baker Hall, God bless him. Medgar Evers, one of our great civil rights leader. He died at the age of 37. He was murdered. I can't. Bob Dylan wrote a song, Only a Pawn in the Game, about him. I'm going to keep it moving. Sylvia Miles. Sylvia Miles, right there, was actually a friend of mine. I befriended her at Planet Hollywood. I've been to her home. I sat on her bed. Sylvia Miles won an Academy Award for a 5-minute role. I think they changed the rule because of her role. She was in Midnight Cowboy. She was the lady in Midnight Cowboy that what's-his-face was trying to hustle. He was going to be it was Dustin Hoffman and what's-his-face. You guys know what the fuck it is. Anyway, she won an Academy, was nominated for Academy Award in her role of Midnight Cowboy and Farewell My Lovely. Her first, and I think Stallone was a bit part in Farewell My Lovely, believe it or not. Anyways, I met her, and she was a dear friend with Andy Warhol and all that. Sylvia Miles was one of my first big celebrity friends. I think she liked me. I did not tap it. I probably could have. I tried. I think I tried. Jimmy Dorsey, the great composer. Grizzly Smith. Grizzly Smith was a piece of shit. Grizzly Smith, if you don't know, was the father of Jake the Snake Roberts. Grizzly Smith was 6'10", 380 pounds. He was a monster. He actually died in the ring. Jake the Snake's father, Jake the Snake, one of the most famous wrestlers, one of the best talkers in the history of the game. His father was Grizzly Smith. He actually died in the ring. He also had molested all of Jake's sisters and mothers. Jake the Snake's mother was like 16 when Grizzly Smith, the 6'10" wrestler, raped her. Jake the Snake was a product of rape. He talks about it in his story all the time. What a horrible, horrible, horrible person. May he rot in hell. That's it. That's all she wrote. Okay. I'm on my way to the bank. What's the loan for, sir? I just need a small cushion because, as you know, my business is summertime now, and I'd like to have some money. That's probably not today. Bitch, don't get in my business. How about that? Do I get the money or not? I don't think that's going to work. Guys, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Please be kind and loving to each other. Be good to yourselves. I might be on in a little bit because Bria is dropping by. Thanks a lot. I love you all. Not all of you. Not Nyan. I love you all except Nyan. Everybody else, I love. Except Rev and Nyan and Tammany. Not Tammany or Rev or Nyan or whoever's the next person that comes up. The last one that comes up who I don't love is Mr. Bob. Colleen I do love. Colleen and Carrie. Carrie, I don't talk about Carrie enough on here. Carrie's very humble, but Carrie's a legend. One of my idols. I love you, Carrie. Carrie was so beneficial in my career. I don't talk about it much on here, but Carrie knows my hip-hop career as an agent and, for AP9. I'm still with AP9 25 years later. And I was up, just got back with Gonzo when Gonzo was murdered. Carrie is I know Carrie's very humble. She don't brag on herself, but Carrie is an entrepreneur. Her and Ryan, I have the utmost respect. They have always been absolutely kind to me. And my life, you guys don't know this, evolves around, yeah, with DJ Pimp. My life evolves around hip-hop, exclusive, mostly Bay Area hip-hop. And if there's a Mount Rushmore of hip-hop in the Bay, you got Hammer, you gotta be legit on it. And by the way, this Mount Rushmore has about 30 faces, not just 4. But I throw Carrie and Ryan on there because they were so, even Walt, I'll throw Walt in there. They were so instrumental for the people like Mac Dre and these, so I can't even, RBL Posse and Nasty Nate and Young Drew and Lil Bruce. There is no one who came up in the Bay Area that Carrie isn't dear friends with and didn't help and get their careers. Of course, E40, who I love dearly. E40 is one of my close friends. Mr. Fab, all these guys, Messy Marv. I could go on and on. Young Drew, when I start talking about Young Drew, that's Vallejo and the Lil Bruce. These are guys who didn't have an outlet. It might not have had an outlet. And the Bay Area is a very specific type of hip hop. If you don't know, you know now. When I came out to New York in 1990, I would go to a party and try to put on some Bay Area, some Too Short or some E40 in the early 90s, and people would throw shit at me. They didn't know. They know now. And Carrie was 100% a huge reason why Bay Area hip-hop with my best friends, Rick Rock, Mike Mosley, Assassin. I can't tell you how many people, even when I had South Central Cartel, they're not even from the Bay Area. And I ran them over there to Rap Bay. If you guys get a chance, and Digital Underground, of course. Shock G, my dear homie. Of course, you got Money B. I mean, I can't, Carrie, I can't overstate. I don't want to sit here and throw you under the bus of props. But you and Ryan specifically had a huge impact on my career. And be legit, G-Eazy, say less. I actually shared a video last night with Rev and Carrie. I hope that you remember the video. It was Young Chopper, Chop City, my guy. I think I might have even introduced him to Bay Area hip hop. I was very early on. And him and Pretty Black. Pretty Black was one of my best friends ever. And we went that night. I hooked up with Be Legit. I had my dear friend Young Felony with me. And we drove over to Rap Bay and we chopped it up. They had the most beautiful shop. They still do. Most beautiful shop. And we chopped it up. And here I am sitting there with my hero and my idol, Be Legit. And then I've got my dear friend Pretty Black. It's the last time I saw him alive. Sitting there rapping in your beautiful store. And I will never forget that. Tomorrow, I'm going to post the video up on this channel because I think everyone should see how amazing it was. And I think there's a cameo, a Carrie in the video. And Ryan's in there too. And Be Legit! My favorite rapper of all time is Be Legit. Anybody knows that. Thank you, Carrie, for all you've done for me and thousands of others all over the world, but specifically the Bay Area, where it counts the most. You are the backbone, and I hope you never change. Please be kind and loving to each other. Let's talk again real soon. God bless you. By the way, my screen went black, so I don't even know. Am I still on? Come on. Yep, I am. All right. My battery's dead. Goodbye. Thank you, Carrie.